Friends, Eric Andres, your Guitar Sage here, and today we're going to be talking about the best guitar amp settings for you. The best clean guitar amp settings for you. Now, why do I say it like that, for you? Because, friends, what sounds good is right, okay? People ask me all the time, my gosh, I get this question so many times. They say, what are your amp settings? Or, what are the best amp settings? And friends, truth be told, there are no best, and if I told you my amp settings, well, I'd have to kill you. No, if I told you my amp settings, friends, it wouldn't matter because you'd have to have the same guitar running through the same pedals and the same amp and the whole 9 yards, and maybe even playing the same thing that I'm doing in order for it to matter. Because what my EQ is and my reverb and everything else isn't gonna matter unless you have the same exact setup. Does that make sense? So this video is going to be more about how to come up with the best clean tones that you can come up with for your style of playing, with the songs that you're playing, with your guitars that you're trying to come up with, not me so much because it's gonna be different, okay? Very important to understand that. It's amp dependent, guitar dependent, pedal dependent, lead dependent, many different things, all right? Let's get into it now. I've got 3 guitars here. I've got a Strat, I've got a SG, and I've got my 67 Tele. 67 Tele, 69 SG, 65 Strat. I'm using a Blackstar Soloist 60. I'm just running through the clean channel, which is basically just volume, tone, I can adjust the presence, and reverb. Yes, there's a bunch of other knobs here, but they don't apply. They only apply to the overdrive, which I'm going to do in another video. So, volume, tone, presence, and reverb. But with those, we can get a lot. And since it is a clean channel, it's not going to overdrive, so we're going to be able to come up with all the yummy clean tones that we want. So, I've got this tweaked to where I want it. So, I'm going to play some clean stuff there for you, and you can listen, and then we'll go through the other guitars and talk about how we might tweak in order to get it to sound good, okay? So here we go. Let's talk about how I have these set for the Strat, and then we'll look at the other guitars. So here I've got the volume at about 50%. Now I didn't mention, there's one other bit here, is I do have a master volume. And technically with your amplifier, when you have a volume and a master volume, if you crank the volume, you're going to get more drive. And then you would control it with the master volume, because that's your overall volume. So if you wanted to drive even the clean channel some, you would crank that volume and control your actual volume with the master volume. Might give you a little bit more drive, okay? We could test it here. If I crank that volume. I might get a little something more out of that. But for the most part, the way that I have this set is the tone knob takes care of everything. Now, the Blackstar does have a button here which changes the tonality of it a little bit. But again, we're not going to get into the specifics of the amp because do you have this amp? If you don't, it doesn't matter what this knob does, okay? So, and as far as reverb, you're going to want something that, you know, typically with the reverb knob on an amp, you don't get to decide both the mix and the length of the, or what we call the feedback of the reverb. It's typically in one knob. So it's just, hey, you want more reverb? Okay, we'll make it longer and we'll give you more or less. Okay, so that's the case. So I have this drilled down to what I like. Now, if I were to bring some other guitars into the mix, you're gonna see it's gonna change the sound up a lot. Okay, let's check it out. Now, as you can hear, totally different sound, or at least it is to me. I can hear it's just got that telly twang to it. It's got that bite. It's like a more percussive type of sound, just straight out of the gate, right? It's very snappy, and even though it's a little bit brighter too than the Strat. So in this case here, what I would probably do is turn the tone knob back a little bit, or the presence, right? So the presence, if you will, what that does is it's essentially an EQ knob. So similar to tone, it's going to round out the whole sound, but it's typically the last knob that you touch as far as the sound coming out of your amp. It's like the very last thing where you're like, man, the whole sound needs to be slightly brighter, or the whole sound needs to be slightly darker. That's what the presence knob is great for. However, if you needed like more bass or what have you, then you would use the EQ. Again, on this amp, the EQ does not affect the clean sound, so we're not gonna mess with it. But in this case here, I didn't change the reverb. The only thing I did is maybe back off the tone a little bit. So again, completely guitar dependent as well as amp dependent, pedal dependent, that sort of thing. Let's look at the SG. All right, so you can hear again yet another sound, completely different sound, because now we're talking about humbucker pickups. And we hadn't even talked about using the volume or tone on our guitars to actually extrapolate some other tones that have nothing to do with the amp, or collectively it has something to do with the amp, right? But literally you could just roll off. If this was too bright, I could just use my tone and roll that off. Now, I basically am using the same settings here as I was with the Telecaster, except in this case here, the sound, I'm just not going to get the sound that I'm looking for. And that's me personally. If you are a metal player or a hard rock player, that's the clean sound that you're probably used to hearing, because when you're playing heavy metal, typically you're using those humbucker pickups. So if I'm listening to, Kill Switch Engage or something like that, they're going to be using those humbucker pickup sounds, and that is the sound. For me, I really prefer the sound of, say, like a Strat. I like those single coils, or a Dan Electro, or something that has got more of a hollow type of sound, what I'm calling hollow. When you're using humbucker pickups or even the telly, it's just going to have a sound that either you like or you don't like. But at the end of the day, you could tweak your amp knobs all day long and you may still not get the sound that you're looking for because of the guitar that you are plugging into. Okay. Now, I know that's a lot, and I know that still may not answer your questions, but my friends, this is a journey. The whole thing's a journey. Guitar is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And I'm here for you. I want to help you to learn how to play guitar. Friends, take advantage of the free course that I'm giving you today. The Unstoppable Guitar System Standard. We've had 500,000 people go through this course already, and it's available for you for free right here. Or click the first link below. If you're watching on mobile and you don't want to sign up with it, or you can't right now, then let me do the work for you. Text me. This number right here, 833-744-0154. Text me and say free, F-R-E-E. I will set you up with this course. Again, 500,000 people strong. Folks majorly changing the way that they think about the guitar. That course is available for you for free with all the PDFs, everything else. Or visit me here in Nashville. We'll do it one-on-one. It'll cost about $1,000 to do it. Or click on the link and you get it for free. I'm here to help you, friends. I want to help you. Please let me help you. Take advantage of that course. If you have UGS already, you can always just type UGS to that same number and then we'll be texting buddies. Okay? Now, I'm here to help you. Please leave your comments below as per usual. Like this video. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and then when you hit the notification bell, you're going to see all videos or something like that. Hit all videos, because if not, you're only going to get it for some videos. And I'm posting often. In fact, we post jam tracks on the weekends right now, so check that out, projamtracks.com. Friends, I'm here for you. We're going to do another one that's going to be on some dirty settings, right? Some rocked out type of settings. So join us for that as well. I'm here for you. I'll see you.